A witch and a wizard is not a slave of his appetite. A witch and a wizard has mastered appetite. So the spirit send them with different messages. What a witch does is to cast spells and to chant incantations. And so the reason you find harlots is because there was somebody in that city who went about and chanted spells over that city. In fact, the sons of the bondwoman, they are experts in this operation. When they come into your country or come into your city, the Christian is looking for a job in the oil company. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we need men everywhere. But you know what they do? When they come, they become shoe shiners. They become truck pushers. Because what they want to do is to map the city. And so as they are pushing the truck around the city, they are talking. They are chanting incantation. They are chanting incantation. Before the moon rises, they speak to the moon. And so the rays that come from the moon over that city is not just light. The rays that come into that city translate their spells. It's called astrology, because the princes they are working with have the power to tame the constellation. When it's called the god of this world, it's not a synonym. It's not a figure of speech. When he called him the god of this world, it means now he has the power to manipulate creation. This is why the Bible said creation is in bondage. So when the moon rises, instead of the moon bringing light, the moon also is compelled to transmit spells. And so why the prince in the heavenly is controlling the moon, he needs a witch on earth who will cast those spells into the atmosphere. So when the moon is rising, the moon will be forced to carry that spell. And so when you are walking under the ray of the moon at night, if you don't have a covering, that spell will come on you. This is why at night, suddenly, people want to go to club. They don't know that when the moon rose, it rose with an enchantment. That enchantment is what triggers that appetite. This is why many times you find most men, they want to drink alcohol in the evening. They don't even know what is happening. But the moment it's evening, an appetite is awoken. Because what the witches spoke into the atmosphere is that the night will be a period where that appetite will be awoken. And so because that man is not deep in God, the rays of the sun will darken him. If you study Songs of Solomon chapter 1 verse 6, he said, look not upon me because I'm black. He said, the sun has looked upon me. And so these guys know, before it is 1 a.m., between 11:50, they begin to chant, because the morning breaks after twilight. And so they will not allow 12 midnight to pass without sending an errand into the next day. And so what the astrologers do, or the witches do, is that at night while you are sleeping and you are saying he giveth his beloved sleep, they are standing, because they want to reprogram the next day. The God of the spirit realm of the earth, he will send the rays, but you need to send the curses. You need to send the enchantment. You need to send all of the incantation. And so the job of a witch is to make sure that midnight does not pass until he has sent the program. And so while you are sleeping and snoring, somebody is standing at every gate of Kenya, and he's there every day at 11 p.m. He will never miss it. As he's there, he finishes speaking. The moment the day crosses over, the sun carries that errand, because the sun now is a slave. He said creation is in bondage, waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the only people who can cancel that program are the legislators that are also not asleep. So while the witch is talking, they are talking. While the witch is talking, they are countering. And so it becomes a battle of thrones. And so everything the witch says, they cancel it. And so when the God of this world looks upon the sun, there will be no enchantment that the sun will bring to the people. Then deliverance can begin to come to that city. And so they have messengers that are compelled by their appetite to dominate a city with iniquity. And then they have witches that cast spells and enchantments and incantation. And then they have what you call the warlocks. The warlocks are superior to the witches. The warlocks are the ones that supervise what the witches are doing. And so if a witch is supposed to cast a spell that will bring fear into the people living in Mombasa, the warlock will be checking every week to make sure that the spell is working. If the witch is to cast spell to make sure that families break, the warlocks will be working to check that families are actually breaking. And so if the warlock moves around and there's no news of divorce for 3 months, he knows something is wrong with the program. So it is the warlock that reports to the sage that this program is no longer working. So they need a superior intelligence. Maybe the intelligence they were using before to create divorce is immorality. And they now see that divorce is no longer happening because another intercessor came and locked his knee on the ground and began to fight immorality. And so a point comes, he pushes the spirit of immorality backward. Because he pushes that spirit away, divorce begins to reduce.